Thank you. I want you to meet Noah. He is a 9-year-old boy and he lives in an orphanage in Myanmar with about 15 other children. He eats about 3 meals a day. He has safe water to drink. He goes to school. He has access to doctors if he needs to. He has kind caregivers and a safe place to live. But unfortunately, not everything is okay. You see, Noah is having his physical needs met, but he's not having his emotional or social needs met. See, in a family, when you have parents who unconditionally love you, you learn to completely trust them and depend on them for absolutely everything. And in that, you feel very safe and secure, and you can then learn how to take care of the other family members and work cooperatively. But unfortunately, Noah is in direct competition with 15 other kids in order for the limited time and attention of his caregivers. And unfortunately, that has a very dramatic effect on his development, because he's not feeling that all his needs are being met. He has to rely upon himself in order to get his needs met. And to do that, he often has to lie, cheat, steal, and manipulate just to get what a child needs in order to develop. And because he's in an orphanage, when he leaves, he's not going to have support like a child in a family would. And when he has his own family, because he hasn't been in a family, he's not going to know how to take care of his wife and children because it's never been modeled for him. And so Noah is actually statistically more likely to be involved in criminal acts and even commit suicide. But there's actually another problem, and that's Noah is not an orphan. His father tragically died, but his mother is still alive. So the question is, why in the world is he in an orphanage? Well, as it turns out, Noah comes from the Rakhine Mountains in western Myanmar. It is thousands of miles of steep slopes and deep valleys with hundreds of villages scattered throughout. The villages are incredibly poor and remote. They lack things such as schools, doctors, roads, communication, electricity, and water. And so life is very difficult. They spend most of their time working to just have enough food to survive by growing food on the steep mountain slopes. Most villages do not have food security. The mortality rate is very high, and with so many frequent divorces, it's very, very difficult for the children. And so what happens is tens of thousands of families wanting a better life for their children send them to far-off orphanages so that they can receive an education, food, and medical care. Noah is a poverty orphan. He's a child because of poverty has not been able to stay with his family. My name is Stephen Servant, and earlier this year, I became the director of Heaven's Family's Orphans Tier Ministry. And poverty orphans like Noah make up actually 80% of the kids worldwide who are in orphanages. And that is just a terrible thing. And earlier this year, I became a dad. And it's been so amazing just to see God in my relationship with my child, and how God has just put in me an amazing love for this really cute but untalented little guy. And he is so dependent on me and just needs me and just loves my attention. And to see Satan working just to destroy that in millions of families around the world is just heartbreaking. But at the same time, I am so blessed and honored that I get to work with Heaven's Family and so many other people in order to bring a change and get kids back in families. See, historically, Orphans Tier started as a ministry that only supported orphanages. But as we learned that orphanages are not good, we began making immediate changes. And one of the first things we did was start on prevention. And to prevent that, you have to go into a high-risk area, find out what is causing children to leave, and then work to change those in a sustainable way. And so many times one of the biggest problems is education. So we work with families and communities in order to help them with agricultural projects so that they can better support their families and be able to afford for their kids to go to school. And we help with many other things in the villages that send kids away. And then also in the villages, they actually view orphanages as a good thing for the children. So we do a lot of conferences and conventions just talking to them about what children go through. And that's been very, very powerful. And we've seen a lot of success so far, mainly with younger children. We still have a lot of work to do, though. And in 2015, we invested tens of thousands of dollars in over 50 villages. And we're going to continue a lot more on that. The other thing we do is reintegration. And this is children who already live in orphanages. Up to this point, we really haven't had a way to help them, as simply sending a child back to their family could be disastrous if the situation hasn't changed. And so we've partnered with another organization who has done this successfully in about 8 other countries. And so we're working with them to bring this to Myanmar. And so the process is you get the orphanage director on board, and we begin compiling very detailed information on the children, medical histories, family history, identities. We send social workers to the families to see if it's a suitable condition for them to live. And then all of this forms a case file, which we can then use to make a decision on where the child should go. The first group, they're basically divided into 3 groups. The first one are children who are easily placed back as the situation is good. The second group are those who with difficulty can be put back because of things like poverty, the child being away from their family for so long. And so we work with them to overcome the steps, overcome the things that would prevent the child from returning. And then the final group are those who can't be returned, as they don't have families, or their families are actually abusive or neglectful. In these cases, we have to put the child in short-term, high-quality care until a suitable foster family can be found. And Noah's Orphanage is actually one of the first ones to start. In 2015, we started with 3 homes, and we haven't yet seen the fruit of that because it's a multi-year process and continues well beyond once the child is back with their family. But we're really excited about the progress that we've seen so far. The final thing we do is education, and education to donors and churches. Orphanages are actually incredibly expensive, and they require support of donors from around the world. And so if we can convince donors that family-style care is much superior to orphanage care, then that is a major push that can really do a lot of good in more ways than even what our organization can do. And we've had amazing conversations with 6 other organizations in 2015, and we're planning to do a whole lot more. And in 2016, we're really just going to be building upon what we've started in 2016. We're going to be increasing the number of villages that we work with, working very closely with the microloan ministry to really expand this. We're going to be more than quadrupling the number of orphanages in the reintegration process. And we actually have like 50 more already who are waiting. And we're also going to be expanding our prevention and reintegration to the other countries we work. Myanmar has kind of been the pilot country for us. And there's so many people who have been working so hard for this. And it's been an amazing effort. And, well, actually, that one guy didn't do very much. But the changes we made have been a massive commitment, and everyone has really been stepping up their game and making huge sacrifices. And it's been really inspiring just to work with them, and we're really excited for the future. And the thing is, the kids are super excited too, because if you ask them, you know, do you want to be in a family or do you want to live in an orphanage? Every single one I've talked to says, you know, they want to be in a family. They know that's what they need. God knows that's what they need. And that's what we want to give them. And so we're so excited for all this, and we can't wait to be able to tell you the fruit of this in the coming years as it's a big, big step. So thank you so much for your time.